Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be breaking down the stock market. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, and with a lot of volatility here in this market right now, and you want to support the channel and get all my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all sorts of long term and short term setups, definitely head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. And now let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys, and we got a lot to cover. You can see ICE agents will be deployed to US airports. That's going to be a chaos because the funding is not there. And then, on top of that, they're asking for $200 billion for the defense for the war. That's still in the air. We'll see if that's going to get funded. And over the weekend, market was down on Friday, but after our market was up, I think 1%, gave back over the weekend, and now pretty flat. And then this came out, Trump threatening Iran that if they don't open Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, which is gonna end, I think, Monday night, he's just gonna go and bomb their power grid, everything, like electric, gas, everything. Now you would think that they would be scared because of this. Nope, they didn't even care. The response came really strong immediately from Iran that if we do so, we're going to come after your power grids, gas, oil, even nuclear plants. And if that happens, I mean, that's going to be a disaster for not only Trump, but for everybody. So I think in near short term, there is going to be some sort of a peace deal. It's written, it's going to come out somewhere. At least that's what I hope for. But the worst case scenario, Trump goes and does what he says on Truth last night, and that's going to even make more chaos. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, Friday, what market did, you can see 73.6% declining. So everything was saying that market is weak. People are just running for the door. Dow was down nearly 1%, Nasdaq down 2%, S&P down 1.51%, Russell going down the most 2.18%. 11 sectors all in red, and utilities took massive hit, 4%, basic materials, technology, you name it, everything red. Week to date, energy led the way, and I hope that's not the case going into next week. We see some money rotating back into some of the other sectors than energy. Stock market map, look at this. Pretty much everything red. Few green pockets here and there, but look at Nvidia, down over 3%, AMU 5%, Microsoft almost 2%. I think that was a new low on Microsoft. Oracle, PLTR, Amazon, Tesla down over 3%, Google 2, Meta 2, Eli Lilly 1.8. So everything was down on Friday. Now, what's going to happen to the market? Well, a couple of things I want to share with you guys. We got some data next week, but I don't think that's going to move the market that much. We do have jobless claims on Thursday. We do have some Fed speakers speaking, but then I don't think that's going to move the market. We have Michigan consumer sentiment. We'll see if that's going to actually affect the market or not. But look at this, guys. Look at this. 52% in this market right now are bearish. Neutral only 17, 30% are bullish. Look at this right here. Extreme fear. 15 at reading we're getting right now on CNN fear and greed index. So what's coming? Well, what's coming, I think it's a face ripper rally that's going to, a lot of people that are shorting near the lows, they're going to get caught covering on that rally and they're going to get squeezed out. This is what market does, and this is what market will do. Whether we go down a little bit more on Monday or not, I think a face ripper rally is right around the corner, and that's coming, and we need to talk about it. So let's get right into S&P 500. On SPY ETF, it's down 1.43%. So a lot of back and forth, boots on the ground, boots not on the ground. And based off of that news, right after closing, market rallied nearly 1%, gave back some of those gains, and still was up into futures market closing. And then we have more news over the weekend, and now I think market is slightly down to pretty flat. So we'll see how that plays out come tomorrow morning. But let's talk about S&P 500. This is the lower Bollinger Band on a weekly time frame, and look at where it's actually at 655, 655.48. Now this is very rare to see. Even right here, we came down. What happened? We came under. We had a snapback. Every time we do that, I'm not talking about daily, guys. We're gonna get into daily, but this is weekly. Look at the rally came Friday and look at the volume on the daily time frame. We're also touching weekly 50 SMA on a weekly time frame. Look at the volume here, look at the volume here, look at the volume here. And we can go back even more, the same story. Market at least found a short-term bottom. Now a lot of people they go and short this, and I'm always against this. Short was up here, short was right here when it actually broke this multi-month consolidation. Now new money short, good luck. That's all I have to say. If you're shorting here, shorting into the hole, you're gonna get punished. I don't care what the news is doing, what news will come out. I think there is gonna be some sort of a deal. Something is coming out, even if something is not coming out, when market gets this oversold and everybody is looking to exit, running for the door, market will have that face ripper. And if you're shorting here, you're gonna lose everything. So going into next week, you can see how overextended things are. Lower Bollinger Band on a weekly time frame, 655, daily 652.34, and we closed here at 648, really overstretching things. Now, the weekly expected move, I think, to the upside is 667, to the downside around 630. So it's a pretty big move. I think about $20, 19, $20. And it does not mean that we cannot go down, but watch out for that face stripper. That might come anytime, catching a lot of the shorts off guard, shorting into the hole, and then you'll see a bigger face stripper in this market. So what can happen if we can come back up? Maybe we actually did that after our. We can recapture the lower band here, 652. Maybe can stay over 650 right here, this zone. Actually we closed right there, so it was good after hour. That 653, 654, if we can stay over that, we can easily come back up to 662 and possibly go up and retest that weekly, especially that expected move, which is at 667. And maybe we come back up and retest this overhead supply. This is going to be key zone for a face ripper. That 675, the daily 20 SMA is coming down, and you can see a lot of overhead supply here. Now, if we continue to the downside, the next critical support you can see here, we held on. Let me just put a line. You can see it right here, that 646, 645 we held on Friday. That's going to be then a big critical support. Underneath that would be down here at 639. And I don't think market's going to just flush. We can talk about other levels in another video, but I think that face ripper is about to happen. Something big is coming. So shorting this market, definitely not something I would attempt, especially when things are this oversold. And now let's talk about Nasdaq 100. On triple Q, it's down 1.85%, and it was up nearly 1% with that news coming out. But you can see right here, we are trying to hold that 584. We did not into closing, but right after that, we came back up, and now it's at 587. So This one also getting a overextended reading. We can easily come back up to retest the bottom of this, breakdown right about 592 to maybe even 594. And if we can come back up into 600, that would be a big move. Possibly even bigger move can come with some good news. Now to the downside, this is the key zone that 584 that gives up. We can possibly come down a little bit more into 574. I think that's the weekly expected move to the downside. And then we have a gap down here as well at 565. So watch these key levels. And same thing goes right here, guys. A lot of volume on Friday. We had a lot of volume here and a market bottom shortly after, at least in the short term, and that could possibly take place again. Going into tomorrow's session with a lot of news going back and forth. Don't forget what happened with tariff. It was tariff was on, off. We have some sort of a negotiation. We don't have it. A lot of back and forth for multiple days, and then finally, we have reached a deal, and boom, there you go. Trump saying go and buy some stocks. So you know the drill. I think it's all about, especially when it comes to stock market, it's making money. Just keep, your news feed open, especially on Truth. That is where you're going to see that news, and that news will come out. That news will come out at some point, some sort of a negotiation, some good news, and the market will have that massive face ripper to the upside. On Dow, it's down 0.91%. And I want to talk about this one because out of all, I like Dow Jones here. And why? Because it actually had about 10% correction already. So this is awesome. 10% correction on Dow. It's fantastic. It's really oversold. A couple of things I want to point out, guys, that when we get these types of reading, look at this 25. And you got to go back in April where this actually took place, and that was the bottom. So I'm not saying this is gonna end up being the perfect bottom and we're just going to all-time highs. What the message is here in my video that we need to catch that face ripper. You're not gonna be welcome here to short, and you're going to make a lot of money. But I think if you can catch a short-term bottom, or maybe this is the bottom, who knows, right? Nobody knows. But looking at everything right now, it's telling us that in previous times, market did put in a bottom in the short term, and we saw that massive face ripper. A lot of people shorted into the hole. So you don't want to make the same mistake when market is about to flip to the upside. Now you're short, and now you're averaging down more, or getting out, taking a loss. Now you're having a bad day, bad week, bad month, and you keep shorting, right? So don't try that. Now you can see Dow here, we were really close to 452 on Friday. We got really close off of that. We got the bounce and we came back up and closed over 458. So 458 is a key zone here on DIA. If we can stay over that come next week, especially Monday or Tuesday, go into that 461-ish right here, break that, we have an easy move up to 465. We still have a gap at 470, and don't forget about this gap. Even if we come back up, I mean, we never actually had a big rally since we topped out here on Dow. This was just an attempt, immediately faded. So, uh, especially when you see face ripper, like you can see this happening and then pull back. Something like this. We haven't seen that here on Dow. So I think that's going to take place at some point. And if you're shorting, you're going to lose money. Another thing I want to point out, guys, really getting frothy, really getting oversold. And you can see this was that previous all-time high here. And now we are pretty much tagging on a monthly scale. Look at the volume on a weekly, a lot of volume coming in. Usually that marks some sort of a reversal, a bottom, which could be coming in next few days. So Dow here, watch out for these levels. Downside 452. If it breaks, we have a couple of gaps down here. We might fill these gaps, and then possibly that rally will come in at some point here on Dow. On IWM, it's down 2.18%, and this thing also was up after closing over 1%. But you can see we came down to that 240 mark, and it rallied off of that, and now it's sitting at 245. So depending on where things open, 240 would be a critical level to watch. If it gives up, we might be coming down even more, maybe down here around 235 to 30. Right here, we have a gap down here as well, but things are getting pretty frothy and overextended. So this one here, if we get an opening or some sort of a move and we stay over 245, there is more room for upside, possibly into 252. So keep an eye on this. This one also selling up, no significant bounces. We saw some bounces on Thursday, but you can see immediately faded. Any bounce here was just fading the next day. So if we get some sort of a rally here, keep an eye on this 252 zone right here on IWM. On VIX, it's up 11.31%, closing near 27. So, I mean, this thing spiked back up. As long as we remain under 35, I think slowly this thing will come back. And we haven't even tested this bottom channel here, which is right here, right about $20. So, if that's going to take place, we come back, some sort of a gap down. Watch out for that face ripper that I've been saying since the beginning of my video today that could be taking place. Now, if this thing breaks over 30, then watch out for continuation to this high here, right about $35. But unless we get really bad news, I don't see that's happening going into Monday's session. On gold, it's down 3.35%. GDX taking a massive beating, double top here. We broke the neckline. Now, can we get a retest of the neckline? Right about 92, 93. Fill some of these gaps to the upside. It's getting really frothy. We had the biggest drawdown last week. It's been a couple of years since we saw that. And this was a big pullback. And now you can see it's getting really frothy, oversold. Maybe you can fill the gap at 78, but I think in the near short term, this is a zone where you don't want to go and short gold right now. Yes, there could be a possibility of more downside, but look at this, guys. I mean, this was the point where we broke out, right? $80 right here. This was the point where we had that move down, rejection, move down, and then we broke out, right? And then just rocketed from there, right? And this is the zone where even if I open up, you can see a lot of volume here near 75 to 80, and there's a thin pocket here. So things can really accelerate here if we can hold the support and we can see a push to the upside, just like the market, and it can possibly go higher from there, fill some of these gaps to the upside. Now we need to talk about dollar because that's also putting a lot of pressure on S&P 500. Look at the move here on dollar. We came back up again close to 100, and then we came back down. We had an inside day on Friday. It was still green. So if this thing takes a back seat, I want to just go back to this monthly time frame, and this trend line is holding. So somehow this thing comes off maybe 1 or 2% here, that could give us that face ripper rally in the market, and you'll see gold, silver, all the precious metal rallying up back up to the upside once again. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? What the market is going to do next week? Would love to hear from you guys, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated Monday night.